year when they were deliberating on the current state of our economies in terms of growth and development, high debt. Agriculture was identified as a key sector for promoting that growth and development. A commission on the economy was established, and the priority areas for that included issues of employment and income. And once you go there, you go into the production sectors. So again, agriculture is there. A transportation commission has been established, and as you're aware, transportation has been one of the key elements identified. If you're going to have agriculture in the region and trade in agriculture, we must have transportation. So again, there's identified. SPS issues, which have been with us forever, is one of the areas where we see movement in agriculture. I'm merely identifying these areas which will be, as areas which should be addressed to the very extent under the 10th-year program. We therefore see the next step to be implementation, making a difference at the level of member states. And this is where we in fact would seek to identify those regional programs which could not only make a difference at the government level, public sector level, but also at the private sector level. We all know that our small and medium enterprises are the enterprises that drive our economies, and financing is a key area. We're looking at that also. So as we try to roll out the program, we expect that at this stage in our agriculture development, it will be the stage where we're focusing on implementation. We've done the technical work to a very large extent, and the next step is implementation. With respect to the DR, we do have a free trade agreement with the DR. We also have relations with the DR in the context of the EPA arrangements. We see this agreement, which makes explicit provision for establishing mechanisms for coordination and for exchanging experiences with the DR in agriculture. We see this as another way of promoting a close relationship with agriculture. The DR is seen as very much larger than we are, but some of the issues are similar, and we expect to get some benefits from that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ridley. I got the pronunciation right, isn't it? Ridley? Field Ridley. Thank you for that correction, because I normally insist that people call me Yolanda Eva Simmons as well. But thank you so much for this comprehensive big picture perspective. I think it certainly augurs well for sustainable development of agriculture. It is usual, I'm told, in agriculture that when we speak of a regional program, we tend to refer to only CARICOM members. However, because of its clear CARIFORM scope, this APP allows us to build more direct and stronger agricultural development and trade ties with the Dominican Republic. Allow me also to pause to welcome to the conversation a lovely young lady, Kimberly Lee, coordinating assistant of the APDP Agricultural Training Unit at the Ministry of Food Production. Welcome, Kimberly. And I'd like to turn to Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rollins, among the partners, ICA is no stranger to agricultural development in the DR. So how do you see the APP fostering a stronger regional cooperation in agriculture that is needed to re-energize and stimulate innovative approaches, practices, and products in the region with direct strengths, developmental interests, and ways of doing things?
Very long question. Good evening, everyone. And I just want to follow up on the comment made by Ms. Reed to say that indeed the agriculture policy program does cover not just CARICOM but the Dominican Republic. This is the CARIFORM program, and we at ICA, as you're well aware, has an office, a very, very strong office in the Dominican Republic. In fact, ICA has 34 offices across the entire hemisphere, and one of our strengths is fostering horizontal cooperation and exchanges between stakeholders in the various countries across the Americas. So we anticipate that the agriculture policy program will offer an excellent opportunity for us within the region to build a very strong relationship with the Dominican Republic, a country that has a very strong agricultural tradition. There's much that the CARICOM countries can learn from the Dominican Republic, and therefore we anticipate that under the APP, that this relationship can be strengthened. We also expect that the APP in itself, as we generate results, whether it be results in the area of policy, whether it be results in the area of technology transfer, whether it be results in the area of market linkages, that there are going to be best practices, there are going to be lessons learned that can be shared between countries. This is something I don't think we have done enough of in the past, and the APP is going to focus a lot on knowledge management, knowledge sharing, and ensuring that the best practices and the things that have worked for one country or one group of countries are effectively shared with other countries. And I think this is where the point of departure and where the benefits will be. I shall also emphasize that the CTA, and the CTA is represented by Lamont Rutan, who is here with us, is going to be playing a very, very important role in relation to that communication and knowledge management as they seek to facilitate exchanges between the actions that we do in the Caribbean and those actions that will be done in the Pacific. So that not only will there be exchanges of experiences within and between the CARIFORUM countries, but also between the CARIFORUM region and the Pacific region. And this indeed will add value. It allows us, as I said before, to be able to share experiences, to be able to learn things that have worked, to be able to draw on what other countries have done to great effect, and therefore allow us to facilitate that development process in agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Rollins. A long response for a long question. Clearly from you, it's obvious that the Dominican Republic certainly has much to offer in agricultural innovation, which brings us to another important issue, that of research, technology, and innovation to drive change for sustainable agricultural development. One change that will demand a big difference in what and how we do agriculture in our region is that of climate change. Applied research, especially in responding to climate change challenges, is one of the three important areas of focus of the APP. So Dr. Chesney, it's now your turn. The APP emphasizes CARDI's role in terms of applied research. Clarify for us what this means, how applied research links into a regional program that also focuses on policy and business development, and that also requires addressing the needs of women and youth.
It appears that our moderator, the questions get longer as she goes along. So I'm very happy I'm not the last person to speak. But seriously, this program builds on what CARDI has been doing all the time. That is helping to enhance the lives of our people in the agricultural and rural sectors. And our tagline says, improving lives through agricultural research. Right? Just we hope to do this. In a general sense, our mandate is based on treating agriculture as a business. And therefore it is nothing new for us to facilitate that program within the APP. And we do see this program as helping us to make correct or make bigger that tagline. The question of involvement of youth and women. The region has moved on to agreeing that agriculture as practiced 5-10 years ago can no longer be the agriculture that we want to move us forward if the sector is to be a major driver in the sustainable development of the region. This agriculture depends very heavily on information, science, technology, market-driven, result-oriented type activity. And not only CARDI, but most of the serious, and CARDI is a serious organization, research institutions have now adopted the philosophy that we will deal with research for development and not research and development. Our research work must be for development. Now, if we go into these areas, the new emerging areas, we will see that there is less emphasis, relatively, on land and labor. And therefore, the attraction for youth and women becomes greater. All right. So we see this program, and the program does say specifically that we must address youth and women, and we think the work that we're doing allows us to enable this. Climate change. Since 2010, CARDI has embraced on a very vibrant program, or some of my friends would like to put me to use the word robust program in climate change, with support from CTA. And we've had annually at the Caribbean Week of Agriculture various aspects of climate change. We dealt with protected agriculture as a mitigation element, we dealt with water management, we dealt with diversity, we dealt with the whole impact of climate change on insect and pest incidents, along with the CIMH and the 5 Cs. We've established, and World Bank, we've established models that could influence, that could show the relationship between climate and agricultural performance. So this will be a continuation. How do we put this in practice at the country and at the farmer level? And let me say we must put all of this little land at the farmer level so that we could enhance their ability to live properly, right? So we see climate change, climate smart activities. We're in the process of, in four member states at the moment, developing or determining what are the most applicable or suitable varieties of a number of crops that could support and could do better under the conditions of climate change as we see it at the moment. Madam Chair, I don't remember, your question was so long I may not have remembered everything, but hopefully I've done 75%. So let me pass it back to you.
Well, clearly my strategy is not working. I thought if I asked long questions, the responses would be short. So I'll change my strategy. That should be. But yes, you did respond very comprehensively, and I'm sure you'd all agree with me as partners in development, agriculture enthusiasts, that there can be no greater or more noble an act than fulfilling the mandate of CARDI, which is improving the lives or helping to improve the lives of people. Stated very clearly among the first